SVG's Jason Dachman here with another episode of SVG SportsTech On Demand, and I have the privilege of being joined by Susanna Mantello, VP and Head of Sales for Sports and Events for SES. Susanna, we really appreciate you taking the time. I'm sure that you guys are extremely busy, so thank you. But wanted to double check, is everybody at your household staying safe, staying healthy, and where are you calling us from today?
So thank you for making the time. Yes, I'm calling from Greenwich, Connecticut. So that is actually my home office. Not many changes from my side because I do work from home office year round. It's just a little bit different, not being able to go outside and having a son here and a few other things. But our team, a lot of our sales team does work from home. So they're staying safe, most of them since March. But thank you for asking. Yeah, we're all good. Family's good, but looking forward to nice weather and the ability to go out again and start seeing clients face to face.
Good to hear. Hopefully sooner than later we'll get there. But
look, we're looking at May 20 here, so hopefully that stays in place.
We hope so. Exactly. So look, one thing that isn't happening and has not happened is the physical version of the NAB show this year. That said, it doesn't mean that there isn't plenty of news coming out, and I'm sure for SES that's no different. So what are a couple big things that we're going to highlight at NAB and that you'd like to highlight to the sports community?
Sure. So obviously everyone had to pull out of SES before it was canceled. Of NAB. It was canceled. Which was quite a disappointment. For us, we were going to announce the opening of our new London facility for sports and events. SES has been traditionally known as a satellite company, but in the past few years, we've been really pushing in other areas, especially on the service side. And with our CEO, Steve Collar, he really believed in sports. And a year ago, he gave us a green light to build a facility that would be able to support that. So that is based at Stockley Park. Some of you might know that address because it's where IMG is. Right. IMG has been kind enough to give us space in their first floor of Stockley Park number 4, not 5. And the idea to be there is, again, IMG has been a big partner of ours, but one of the things that they specialize in is production that we don't. And as SES, we're not going to be silly enough to venture into completely new spaces, but we have a lot of clients that do require those editing suites, remote production, studios, graphic insertion, again, I said the editing, commentary, etc. So we have a master control room, a space of about 2,500 square feet. Mm-hmm. It is 99% done, but since the UK shut down, we're not able to have anyone there right now. But we're hoping when things ease up in May, then June, we'll be able to go live there again. But that's really exciting for us because, again, it's something that we'll be able to offer a lot of our customers that in the past we really couldn't do. So
that's great. Yeah, more of a full services, holistic approach.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And the second thing that we again heard from our customers that they needed is, again, looking at the world of IP. We've worked in the past. We were one of the first through the old RSAT working with Zitzi. But now we work with many other companies, but the idea was to create IP point-to-multipoint for sports. So whether it's live content, additional programming, looking at a solution that is point-to-multipoint for all our customers. And we had an incredible amount of success with the platform we developed for AFP, which, if you're not familiar, it's the French news agency, or Agence Française Presse. And it was showcased at NAB for the past few years. Sure. And it has so many modules. It works really, really well. And now we're ready to do it for sports. So that was a second announcement that we were going to make at NAB. And most of it will be housed in London. Right. Well, the data centers.
Sure. Well, I mean, with that in mind, with that sort of move to IP, the interest in IP, there's now more than ever with everything happening in the world. Obviously, a lot of your clients are on lockdown and undergoing some serious challenges, but I'm sure you guys are there to help serve them however you can. How are you supporting your clients right now during the pandemic?
So we have a different group of clients. So from the non-sports side, obviously we have tons of 24/7 clients. We have our network side, and they're very engaged because the one big change with this is the demand for data has increased and linear television. On the sports side, obviously content went down, almost came to a complete standstill in March. So we work with a lot of our customers in trying to supplement how they can use us. So whether it's using, again, our IP network, fiber, our satellite, we work very closely with them. A lot of them have been using, archived games and utilizing capacity that they have with us. But until April, there were a couple of sports that were still going on, whether they were just showing a tape delay version, so we were still sending them. But the big thing that we've done with our customers is really brainstorming, what are you looking for us in the future? So again, the London came as part of that brainstorming session, IP as part of it. But now we're looking at other sports that they would like to start distributing worldwide. We've helped in some cases even introducing some of the US customers to some of our partners internationally. I mentioned earlier that we work very closely with All Elite Wrestling, which outside of the US, not many people know. But here in the US, they came to compete with WWE. And what was interesting is we are their domestic partner. We work with them and Turner, so we do all the transmission fiber. We provide the uplink trucks and the satellite capacity, of course. But we're helping with some introductions with broadcasters that we know internationally to see how they can grow overseas. So this is the one time that we're not always in a fire drill with sports coming. We can actually slightly step back and try to see where the future is and how we can help as SES, because we do have obviously amazing satellites, but we have a big network and quite a few contacts that we can introduce to each other.
Sure. Well, let's talk about the future. Sure. You mentioned it. Look, live sports will return. We know that. We're not sure exactly when right now. We're getting some exciting things with NASCAR and other things making announcements. But when they return, it's going to be a different world. Live productions will look different. Workflows will be different. I'm curious, and again, I'm not asking you for a crystal ball here to really.
I'll try to look for one.
But what do you expect from the sports scene, and especially on the transmission front, once live sports return?
It will be challenging, and it's challenging but exciting. I mean, I never mentioned this. I entered sports by mistake. I was in investment banking. I went to Madison Square Garden, watched a hockey game, which I hated the sport, fell in love, and started working for the NHL 2 years later.
How can you not? Yeah.
It's the excitement that people are needing today, especially with COVID. People are desperate for live content, live sports. It brings happiness. The challenging thing it's going to be, you're going to have some sports on top of each other. Obviously, the rumors here in the US with the NHL potentially starting their next season in December if they go live now, because it won't end until September. But you have, NFL on. You have all the three golf majors. They're going to be going head to head with the NFL. That's going to be challenging for CBS showing the Masters, and they still have NFL, so it's going to be challenging for them. From the transmission side, I think all of us are going to be excited because we'll be able to use our satellites, fiber, whatever we need. And that's one of the places where satellite is not available. We have the fiber and we have the IP. But I think it's going to be a challenge for broadcasters, again, because there's going to be so much content that doesn't go head to head that now will be going head to head. And then this is only the American side. There's also the European side with the sports there. But I think it's going to be exciting. I think there's going to be a lot more that you will see on your phone. People will have to be open to that. Most young people already do enjoy watching their sports on their, online. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be really exciting. I think the challenge is, you have Olympics now for 21, the personnel, how people are going to deal with the volume, and making sure that everyone stays safe. If I'm not mistaken, when you look at some of the events that are produced, you have 300 people there. How are they going to be safe? Fans, I think you can figure out not watching, watching golf. I'll be excited not to get it in the hole all the time. But the bigger sports like NFL, you really want to hear that crowd. So it'll be different, but at the same time, you'll be watching sports and watching your favorite players. We really appreciate you taking the time today, giving us an update on SES. And please stay safe and stay healthy, and our best to the entire SES team. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And the same to everyone watching and everyone at SVG. Looking forward to the new world coming back, whatever that new world might be.
Thanks, Susanna. For more episodes of SVG Sports Tech On Demand, stay tuned to sportsvideo.org and the SVG YouTube channel.